In this video, we're going to be doing lesson 5.3, which is over quadratics that are written in standard form. Now, standard form looks a little different than vertex form. So it's f of x equals ax squared plus bx plus c. Just like with vertex form, your a tells us if it opens up or if it opens down. A positive A opens up, a negative opens down. Your C value tells us the y-intercept. It's the y value. So your y-intercept is always in the form 0 and then whatever your C is. That's the point. So to find the vertex in standard form is a little bit harder because there's a formula involved. So first of all, it has to have everything on the same side of the equal sign. Sometimes it'll just say f of x equals, or sometimes it'll say equals 0. But if there's ever anything on the other side of the equal sign, you have to move it. So this looks good, everything's together. It doesn't say like equals 4 or something. So then we have to identify our a and b. Your a is what's in front of the x squared. If there's nothing, we assume it's 1. And your b is the number in front of the x, so it's negative 4. Step 3, use the formula x equals negative b over 2a. This is going to give us the x value of the vertex. So negative, and then my b is negative 4 over 2 times 1. You can just type this in the calculator like this, but I'm going to kind of take the steps out and work it out by hand. This would be a positive 4 over 2. 4 divided by 2 is 2. Step 4 says to plug the x value into the original quadratic to find the y value. So I know that x is 2. I have to plug it back in. So y is going to be 2 squared minus 4 times 2 minus 5. And if you remember early on in Unit 2, we used the store button. I would recommend doing that. So 2 store x. And then I can just type in x squared minus 4x minus 5. And we get negative 9. You could also do it like this. 2 squared minus 4 times 2 minus 5. Either way. But especially when there's more negatives, I would recommend storing. So this means that our vertex is the point 2, negative 9. Oh, you can't see that. So number 2, my A is 2, my B is 12. So x is equal to negative, then my B is 12, over 2 times my A, which is 2. So this would be negative 12 over 4, which is negative 3. So then my y, we have 2 times negative 3 squared plus 12 times negative 3 plus 16. So I prefer the store. and we get -2. So the vertex is -3, -2. So we have several more examples here. I'm going to do the first 3 with you, and then I'll let you work on questions 4, 5, and 6. So so we're on number 1, x equals -b. So I'm going to plug in a 16 for b over 2 times my a, and if there's nothing there, we assume it's 1. So -16 over 2 equals -8. And so then the y is -8 squared plus 16 times -8 plus 71. So I'm going to plug this in. And you should get 7. I'm going to tell you what a lot of you are going to do and why you're going to get it wrong. A lot of you are going to get -121. Look at what I typed in and think about what I did wrong. If you do it this way, I did not put parentheses around the -8. And remember, you're going to get a different answer if you put parentheses and if you don't. The one with parentheses is the correct one. So that's why I prefer using the store button. You don't have to worry about parentheses. So the vertex is -8, 7. Is the vertex a max point or a minimum? Well, looking at our A, it's a positive, which means it points up. So our vertex is here at the bottom, meaning it's a minimum. The axis of symmetry, x equals, remember you have to put the x equals, -8. And the y-intercept is 0, 71. Remember this c value told us our y-intercept. Let's try number 2. It's -b. My b is -2 over 2 times my a, which is 1. So 2 over 2, 2 divided by 2 is 1. And then what I'm going to do is take that 1 and plug it in for x. 1 squared minus 2 times 1 minus 5. And we get -6. So our vertex is 1, -6. Again, my a value is positive, so it points up, which means my vertex is at the bottom, making it a minimum. The axis of symmetry is x equals 1, the x value of the vertex, and the y-intercept is 0, and then my c value is -5. Number 3, x equals negative, my b is -14, over 2 times my a, which is -1. And we get 14 over negative 2, which is negative 7. Y equals negative 7 squared minus 14 times negative 7 minus 59. Oops. And for the y value, we get negative 10. If you didn't use the store button, this is one likely you could have messed up having that negative and then the other negative. Yep, I would use the store button. So the vertex is negative 7, negative 10. This one points down because that A is negative, or it opens down. So the vertex is at the top, making it a max. The axis of symmetry is going to be x equals negative 7. And the y-intercept is 0, negative 59. Now I want you to try numbers 4, 5, and 6. I'm going to go through these fairly quickly. So for number 4, you should have got, this would be 8 over 2, which is 4 for your x. Your y. Should have got negative 2, so the vertex is 4, negative 2. Minimum, x equals 4, and 0, 14. So you should have worked on this on your own, and that's the answers you should have gotten. Number 5. This would be 6 over negative 2, which is negative 3. If I do negative 3, store x. We get negative 4. So negative 3, negative 4. Max. X equals negative 3. 0, negative 13. What you should have got on that one? I know I'm flying through these, but you should have already had these wrote down. And then number 6, negative b over 2a. This would be 4 over negative 4, which is negative 1. Negative 1 store x. Negative 2x squared minus 4x minus 5 is negative 3. This one is a max with x equals negative 1, the x-axis of symmetry, and 0, negative 5 for your y-intercept.